Hey y'all, it's your Queen Scarlett coming through right quick, right fast with some musical messages for the artist Lizzo, the song Special. In case nobody told you today, you're special. In case nobody made you believe you're special. See, I will always love you the same. You're special. I'm so glad that you're still with us. Broken, but girl, you're still perfect. Perfect. Special. Yeah, ma'am. And don't fret over the pronouns, okay? Don't fret over the pronouns. We know gender is a spectrum round here, and so is the audience. And we is welcoming to everybody in high vibration. Who. So, musical messages, that mean we are tapping into the energy and intent coming from Lizzo, as well as Lizzo's divine realm, as well as the divine realm as a whole. So, to the left, we have a card representing the messages and intents through the song Special from Lizzo's spiritual self and her human self in unison. And to the right, we have a card representing the divine messages through Lizzo, through the song. So this will be Lizzo's divine realm as well as the divine realm as a whole. So take what resonates and leave the rest on the flow. And we cannot ignore in the bottom right hand corner the cover art for the song Special. And we're going to decode it too. Not only are we going to decode it too, we're going to decode it first. So we have a black and white gray coded photo here of Miss Lizzo rocking a bedazzled, bejeweled headpiece, serving all types of face, all types of lips, cheekbones, bright eyes, youthfulness, and maturity. Looking up in inspiration. The shoulder posture is giving confident and courageous, bold, ready to take on whatever comes. But also something about the eyes, as powerful as they are, and something about the head tilt, something about the piercing of the lips, the positioning, the way that her lips are postured in more of an N type form, if you will, as opposed to a U. It's giving, while we're looking up in inspiration, and we are confident, and we are bold, and we are courageous, and we are prepared, we're still a bit humbled, as we should be, as we need to be. And we are also, I don't think fearful is the proper term, but apprehensive, anxious, nervous, maybe even excited about what's to come, because we know something special is about to come. And I'm hearing right now that while a lot of special things are about to come, there's a heavy message coming through about realizing the special that already exists within and throughout you and me. But you know, each individual's identity's self. You're special. And that's why special things are coming to you. So that lets me know that we're definitely dealing with believing that we deserve special things, believing that we deserve greatness, that we deserve the blessings and opportunities that are coming through to us and that have already come through for us. I want to talk about the greatness of this photo as well. And the color gray can represent diplomacy, as it is a combination of two opposing colors, black and white. So it can represent diplomacy. It can represent duality. It also can represent war. It also can represent maturity, wisdom gained through experience. It can also represent seriousness, intellect, boredom, decay, sadness, ambiguity, and liberation, among some other things. But those are the things specifically that I feel radiating through the energy of people who are resonating with this song, as well as specifically the person who suggested the song. So with that being said, I'm picking up some individuals who have been wanting a fresh start and desperately need a fresh start. I'm hearing instantly from that you've kind of been causing yourself blockages by kind of being on a pessimistic frequency, allowing yourself to kind of get bogged down. I'm hearing also by the weather. I know that it has been rainy for the past couple of weeks off and on, and at times very consistent, and depending on where you stay, it's also been very snowy. It's been all types of sporadic weathering, gloomy weather going on. And I'm hearing also that has been kind of getting a lot of you down And it's a need to, just kind of give yourself a pat on the back just because right now, just to kind of pick yourself up and get some pep in your step or whatever, because just certain natural circumstances that have been out of your control lately have been kind of just seeping its way into your aura and seeping its way into your mindset and has got you kind of down, and you can't like figure out what it is, and that's like a part of what it is. But also a part of what it is something in you being triggered. There's a passion in you that your divine realm is trying to trigger out of you, and they are using this song to try to trigger it out of you as well. I'm also picking up on some people that need to clean up their space, get rid of old clothes, old trinkets, old decor, old gifts, and things of that nature that you gotten from people that you done cut off now, that you no longer use, need, or favor. Get rid of that stuff. And also, if you have any gray, white, black walls in your house, or if you just been feeling like you want to redecorate your house, you want to change your interior, you want to wash your decor clean and like do some new things with the style of your home and the style of your area, even if you live with other people and all you have to recreate is your room, Spirit is definitely saying that that's confirmation that that's something that you need to do, because it is something that would definitely raise your spirits as well, because the conditioning of the environment that you're in. And this is mostly as it concerns aesthetic. So it's like the color coding of your environment has been throwing off your mood, because the colors that are predominantly in the aesthetic of your environment are not coherent, they're not compatible or in alignment with your aura and what is best for your aura. So if this particular part of the message is resonating for you, it's definitely a sign that you need to do a different color coding for your home, for your room, for your decor, even for your car, whatever, what have you. And I'm hearing also more than likely for your wardrobe as well, for your wardrobe for certain people. The colors that you've been wearing, the colors that you've been using to decorate, the colors that's on your walls, they just are not in alignment with your aura and with your spirit and what you resonate with. So like I said, it's a need to alter that. So for example, if you have a lot of white walls in your home and that kind of you've been experiencing a lot of anxiety or headaches, you might want to change the color of your walls to something more cooler, like a cool teal type of blue, or something along the lines of a mahogany brown, or something like burgundy or something of the sort, more earth tone, more water tone colors that might work well for you. And vice versa, honestly, if you feel like the more earth tone and watery tone, nude types of colors have been getting you down, then you may want to switch to more bright colors, more warm colors, oranges, reds, yellows, maybe even try doing a multicolored pattern on your walls or something. And that might also get the inner child in you flowing, get the creative in you flowing, get the passion in you flowing as well. Amongst other things, to be honest, because what I'm saying is it's a spiritual thing, but it's also color psychology. It's also feng shui. So you may definitely want to do some research on feng shui as well, and that'll help you gain more insight and clarity on your individual feng shui that would suit you for the betterment of your life, your mood, your mental and physical health, as well as your daily productivity. And speaking of productivity, for some of you also, this is also concerning certain types of media and maybe even activities that you've been indulging in, maybe even certain people that you have been hanging around, okay? The content of the media that you've been indulging in has been getting you down and seeping into your mindset and polluting your aura and things of that nature as well. So for instance, I'm sure a lot of people can kind of relate to this, how sometimes we are scrolling on social media way too much and we don't realize how, even though it may be a post talking about some nonsense or that got some chaos in it that we didn't even give like a minute to, but just the fact that we scrolled past it and we're engaging with social media in itself and it's on our timeline, like we saw it enough to scroll past it, so inevitably we keep scrolling. There are going to be a few more or maybe even more and more of those types of posts, and that energy seeps into our energy and starts to affect our mood, starts to affect our mindset, starts to enhance the negativity of intrusive thoughts and things of that nature. And with that being said, specifically, I am hearing specifically that some of you do definitely need a social media break, and some of you need to clean your friends list. You need to cleanse your algorithm activity. So you need to start blocking and maybe even reporting certain posts and certain pages, and also start blocking certain pages so that you can lessen the activity that you don't find servicing to you anymore. And especially if it's getting you down, yeah, you need to cleanse that. So this is also dealing with people who have like been following and been friends on social media with people since high school. Yeah, definitely need to reform your friend list and all of that. Also, like I said, some content that people have been indulging in. If you've been watching a lot of law stuff, if you watch the news a lot, if you subscribe to news, gossip, blog pages, if you watch a lot of reality TV, things of that nature. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It doesn't mean that you have to completely cold turkey cut off the guilty pleasure, unsavory content that you might like or whatever. Those things have been serving a spiritual purpose to you as well. Howsoever, it's some new moves that need to be made. It's some new energy that needs to be formed. And so we got to get some balance, and we got to clean up your aura and your mental. Because indulging in news a lot, like any type of news, a lot of the time that can pollute and distort your mindset of life and humanity and your environment, because the media services are conditioned and ultimately trained to push the most salacious, the most dark, the most negative, the most shocking things to the forefront in order to get clicks and views. And I'm talking about the news on television as well. And it's not to say that those stories aren't true. It's not to say that those stories aren't necessary to know about. It's just that's not all that's going on. So you gotta give your energy and your mind, heavily on the mindset, right? And your mind more to work with. And like I said, that includes like blog sites, that includes people who do hot topics. And like I said, this is not to demonize any of that content or the people who create that content. You just gotta have balance, because if you're always indulging in material and content and stories that are talking about so much salacious and heinous activity, like the bang bang shoot 'em ups of it all, the cheating and beating of it all, the touching people and all of that without permission, the other, all that hoopla, pouring that into yourself all of the time, or putting yourself in position for that to be poured into you all the time. It's just not good for you. It's not good for your mindset. And like I said, this is spirit bringing to your attention that we got to add some more stuff. It's like when you get a plate, like Stormy was talking about the low vibrational plate. Now, I'm going to pick out the high parts of what Miss Stormy was talking about, okay? So, in a figurative sense, we can think of the content that you indulge in as a meal, a plate of food. Sure, you can have some meat. Sure, you can have some bread. But if you only eating meat and bread all the time, you're going to end up having health issues. You're going to be real bulky for no reason. Especially if you're not exercising and having a regimen amongst that. So you want to add some fruit to your plate. You want to add some vegetables to your plate. You want to make sure you're drinking your water to balance it out. Just like if you only drinking water and eating fruit, you really can't survive your entire life off of just water and fruit. You're going to be malnourished. You need protein. So you gotta balance it out. With that being said, for a lot of you, Spirit is saying to take note of the people that you have known, the interactions that you've had, specifically on social media, and specifically in places that are institutionalized, if you will, which means school, work, camp, extracurricular activities, things of that nature, church. Think about the experiences that you have had in your life with those things. Remember the color gray? wisdom from experience, okay? And think about how those things have shown up on social media. Think about how you have, how do I say the words? Think about how those things have spilled over into your interactions on social media. So for example, if you're in high school and you ended up having a beef at school with somebody, and initially you thought, shit, we beefing at school, when I go home I ain't got to deal with that. But then you get on social media and you see that person that you had beef with at school is online talking crap about you. So that's what I mean. What happened in the institutionalized area spilled over into social media. Okay? So reflect on a lot of those things. Reflect on experiences that you may have had similar to that. Because Spirit is saying that a lot of the content that you have been indulging in has also been your way of trying to make sense of those experiences. Because reality TV specifically deals with sociology, a lot of sociology and interpersonal communication, which also has to do with institutionalized areas and environments like school and stuff like that. So seeing what people do for the favor of the crowd. Gaining wisdom on what people are willing to do and what they will do for the favor of a crowd. And what particular crowds are they trying to get the favor of? So it's going to be different for each individual. It's going to be the same for certain individuals. But Spirit is just saying for you to reflect on that, because they want to emphasize that even though you're needing to clean up your timeline and clean up your social media and clean up, and balance out the content that you've been indulging in, they want you to know that the stuff that you are cleaning out and detoxing and reforming was not in vain. You still need the knowledge and the wisdom from those things. Because with that, you need to find the counterparts, if you will, to those elements. So, for example, if you are cleaning your content indulgence up from reality TV, you can still, indulge, do your thing here and there, but also start counteracting that with indulging in content of people who, I want to say, study it. I want to say, expose it, if you will, who do deep dives on it, and perhaps even people who speak against it. Because the divine realm is saying to me that the people who are resonating with this song, y'all are meant to be advocates. Y'all have advocate spirits. Y'all have advocate, activist type spirit. So if you're the type of person that's always been very opinionated and always has a stance on something, and you are unafraid to take that stance and speak up for people who you feel like don't have a voice, that's by no mistake. And that's what Spirit is trying to evoke a passion out of y'all with as well. Because like I said, how y'all have been indulging in certain content for so long, because subconsciously, mindlessly, and mindfully for some of y'all have been indulging in that content to make sense of your past experiences and to gain more wisdom from your past experiences, so that you can have more of an understanding of how to fight for the people that you are meant to fight for. And with emphasis and iteration of yourself also being one of those people. And it always starts with self. So that's why Spirit is putting y'all in position to do a lot of reflecting on the experiences, specifically institutionalized experiences that you have had, in unison with if and how they may have spilled over into social media. And I said all that to say also that, like I said, indulging in too much of a type of content, especially if it's chaotic, it can distort your view on the world and your interactions with other people. So Spirit is putting this on my heart right now to say to specific individuals that are resonating with this song and with this reading. If you have been having a lot of paranoia about your partner cheating on you or your friends betraying you or something of the sort, Spirit is saying that your fears are not rooted in reality. And that is a part of why the detoxing needs to happen as well. Because subconsciously, the type of content that you indulge in, like I said, if you've been watching a lot of stuff that's been dealing with cheating scandals and betrayals and all that type of stuff, it can have you looking at the world through that type of lens. And still use discernment, don't be no fool, but Spirit just put that on my heart to put that out there, that that's another way specifically for some of y'all. And just a reiteration of that, some of the content that you've been predominantly indulging in has been having a docile and negative effects on your mindset and your perspective of yourself also, and the world and your relationships. And another part of the reason why it is, been having kind of a sappy effect on your mindset is because, like I kind of said before, it's time to start putting the wisdom and the knowledge that you've gotten from those things and from the experiences that influence you to indulge in those things. It's time to start putting that into action to start fulfilling your purpose. Using all that knowledge and wisdom in unison and coherence with your words and your voice in order to put out the message, the call to action, and bring awareness to what you feel like you need to bring awareness to. Now, y'all, let's get into these cards. So, to the left, as I said before, we have the Hanged Woman. I ain't say that part, but I said that this card is representative of the message and intent that Lizzo's spiritual self and human self is sending and has poured into the song Special. So we have the Hanged Woman, which from this I am getting probably needless to say, but throat chakra with all that blue. Definitely some root chakra work that needs to be done as well. And some people are wanting to get into yoga, specifically what's that, hang yoga, flight yoga, the type of yoga where you see as she is swinging from those ribbon rope type things. Yeah, so if you've been thinking about getting into that, this is confirmation that that will be something that is good for your mind, body, and soul. And definitely Lizzo's spiritual and human self is wanting to provoke us to start using our voices more, start using and loving our bodies more, and embracing your unique self. And the thing about that statement there, embracing your unique self, a lot of people resonating with this song and resonating with this reading are dealing with some feelings of lethargicness. I think that's the word, lethargic, because I'm hearing lethargic. And like was said before, with the great coloring in the cover art, boredom, feeling bored, feeling like tired of the same routine all the time. So there are certain things about your circumstance that you're not going to be able to control right at this moment. But there are certain things about your circumstance that you can control. And the way that you take the power back over it is allowing yourself to hang in the ambiance of what is. And like I said, changing what you can, which would be like like I said before, your decor, your wardrobe, cleaning some stuff up, things of that nature, while you're waiting on the change to come. But overall, allowing yourself to be and allowing yourself to express whatever the current circumstance is making you feel. Even after you've reformed your environment and everything, there's a heavy emphasis on allowing yourself to be yourself, allowing yourself to be, acknowledge where you are, acknowledge who you are at the time, whoever it is, whatever it is, and then allowing yourself to express it verbally and then putting some type of progressive action behind it. Because people who resonate with this group, I'm hearing that y'all's emotions, the way that is best for y'all to think of them and use them is like a compass. Your emotions give you hints and clues of what your passions and your purpose is and where to find them and how to allow it to bloom out of you. So some of you may have or may have had struggles with being very emotionally impulsive and acting off of emotion a lot in the past, or you have been actively now trying to get out of that. And that's what Spirit is saying, like, whenever you are feeling overwhelmed, if you will, with emotion, you just need to take a pause and breathe. And maybe you need to get a Zen garden or some type of little like stress relieving toy type situation. I'm hearing Legos. Somebody used to love to play with Legos when they were a kid, and you may feel like as an adult you shouldn't be playing with Legos now, but I'm hearing that that is something that would help you in your moments of emotional overwhelm. Because many of you, when you're in that state, you need to do something with your hands specifically because of, what your purposes are and what your gifts are, you need to do something with your hands. So that's why it would be good to get a Zen garden, to get a Rubik's Cube, to get some Legos, to get some Play-Doh, to get some silly putty or something of the sort, something that you can play with and mold and build and reform and recreate and all of that, something that you can do with your hands that is like kind of small and mobile, where you pretty much reform it with your hands. And that'll be something to help you stabilize your emotions and get more emotional clarity, which will help you get more throat chakra clarity and help you use your voice in not only positive and progressive ways, but also in more loving ways. Because I'm hearing that some of you, because I'm picking up some Scorpio energy too, but some of you, because you tend to be filled with anxiety, sometimes you may come off mean, even though inside you don't feel mean, but how it's received and how it sounds and how it's delivered, it comes off mean because you're filled with angst and anxiety and discomfort. Therefore, when you say whatever it is that you say, there is angst, anxiety, and discomfort that is transferred with it. So if you have had like a pattern of people like saying that you mean, are you okay? Are you good? Or, something like that, when you say certain stuff and you genuinely mean no harm and you genuinely are not feeling like mad or no shit, that's a part of why. And what I just said about having the like Zen garden, Rubik's Cube, silly putty, Lego blocks, whatever, something to do with your hands to like woosah yourself and stabilize your emotions, that'll definitely help with your delivery of words as well. So this card is also leaning towards a sacrifice, a detox, a fast that needs to happen. And that's a part of the change that y'all are having to evoke. So it's like y'all are waiting for the change to happen. Y'all are waiting for the new and like, I don't know, exciting venture to just fall out of the sky. And the divine realm is saying that in order to really evoke that, they are waiting on you to choose something, some activity, maybe a substance, maybe a food that, is really kind of redundant, or maybe something that's gluttonous, or something that you overindulge in, or something of the sort. Some type of thoughts, maybe even like not complaining, like committing to not complaining at all. And if you do complain, putting $1 in a jar or something of the sort, something like that. But either way, there's a message here that in order to do your part in evoking the change that you have been waiting for and that you have been trying to bring about, you need to fast from something, you need to detox from something, you need to sacrifice something. And that is going to bring about a elevated sense of clarity, and it's going to allow you to get to know a new side of yourself, because it is going to influence you to start having some new experiences. Once you cut one thing off, you're going to have to find something else to replace it with. So make sure that it's something good and it's something that's conducive to your joy, conducive to your passion, conducive to your health, conducive to your evolution and a great quality and quantity of life. And I'm not going to lie, some introverts are about to get annoyed with me, but I'm hearing that one of the things that y'all might have to sacrifice is your habit and comfort being a recluse, being a loner. So it may be time, and this is bringing up the lyric, I'm used to feeling alone, okay? And so Spirit is wanting y'all to get out. Spirit is wanting for y'all to sacrifice being a loner so much, sacrifice that hermit mode, and get out into the world and start allowing yourself to have some new experiences. Because, honestly, how do you expect to experience something new and exciting and adventurous if every day you just stay in the house? And I know some of you may be like, oh, my friends are always working, or my friends or the people that I usually hang with, I cut them all off, or they're always busy, they got kids and this and that and the third. That's also why Spirit is putting you in position to go out and meet some new people. And you really don't even have to approach anyone. Spirit is saying, just get out of the house and we gonna put everything else in place after that. You just be who you are and do what you do, but get out the house. You feel me? And it'll become that much clearer once you apply. And of course, use your sense of discernment. Be very observant. Don't be going to folks' houses and inviting them to your houses after just knowing them for a couple of days and all of that. Don't, you know what I'm saying? You know. Be sensible. But get out the house and allow yourself to mingle and make some new associates at least. You ain't gotta be friends. And that's the thing. You ain't friends when you first meet. Associates. So, go out and mingle. Associate with people. Socialize. And let the new experiences flow. And so, to get to the next card, which is representing the messages of Lizzo's divine realm in coherence and unison with the divine realm as a whole. And we have the throat chakra and the number 5, which the number 5 is all about balance, which I've been constantly saying, and drastic change, which is also what I've been constantly saying as well. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. There's that balance word again. So the divine realm has greeted and adorned and caressed us with this song, Lizzo-Special, to literally remind us that we are special. But also, the video is being brought to mind. In the video of this song, she is acting as, she's a waitress in the daytime. Well, she's a waitress in her casual life. And when she sees something going wrong, she transforms into a superhero. And so Lizzo has also talked about how this song is one of her most important songs because it is all about encompassing being for someone else and being for other people what you wished you had in the past and probably what you wished you had now. And Spirit is emphasizing, as they often emphasize, that you have to access that inner superhero for yourself. And that's a similar message that's come up also that came up in my video on the Libianca song, People. So if you feel that nudge, definitely go indulge in that video as well, Libianca, People, the musical messages of that song. There's also a message of making sure that you are able and capable and willing of being a superhero for yourself. Because a lot of the time people end up putting themselves in positions to be parasited off of and also exhausting themselves and working themselves to the bone to fight and save everybody else. And so they've elevated everybody else and they look back at their own home. They look back at their own stuff. They look back at their own hair, skin, nails, their own wardrobe, their own health and how their health is affecting their appearance. And they realize that they don't have anything left for themselves if they ever felt like they had anything for themselves in the first place. And so that's a part of what the divine realm is trying to evoke out of you all as well, to tap into and access that inner superhero for yourself that caters and prioritizes fighting for you and saving you as well. Because having a clear insight on how to save yourself and actually also having that experience, and that's why there's a lot of reflection that needs to happen over your past experiences, because you need to remind yourself of the many times that you have already been a superhero for yourself. The divine realm is trying to remind yourself who you are so that you can properly see yourself in the people that you are meant to save and be there for and advocate for and fight for. And if you are a singer, if you are a writer, if you are a musician, the divine realm is definitely trying to get you back into that, and they want you to start by indulging in some content that is loving, that gives messages and tells stories about good love, healthy love, true love, songs about good love, healthy love, true love. And that's going to really elevate your spirit. It's going to help to heal your heart chakra, and it's going to help heal your throat chakra as well. It's also going to help to bring in some inspiration for some new projects for you to create that are going to open an abundance of doors for you and also help people that you don't even know yet. And some of them you probably won't ever know. But overall, everyone who is resonating with this group, whenever you figure out what it is that you need to say and what it is that you need to do as a result of applying all of the messages and tips and clues and regimens and reforms and redirections that have come up in this reading, understand that what you have to say needs to be heard. What you want to bring attention to needs to be seen. Your voice is needed by so many different people. And like I said, some of them you don't know yet, and some of them you probably won't ever know. But it's going to make a difference for the entire world. And so, while many of you may have been thinking less of yourself lately and feeling small lately, I want y'all to really pay attention to the words that are visible on my journal in the background. Always remember, you are braver than you believe and stronger than you seem. And that is literally a major message that the divine realm is sending to you all through Lizzo and through this song in particular. In case nobody told you today, you're special. In case nobody made you believe, you're special. Yes, and it is high time for you all to emerge loving who you are. And let's also, I usually say this like in like the beginning of the video, but it's perfect timing here. Okay, so Lizzo, whose name is Melissa, but Lizzo is a Taurus. And you know Taurus are all about getting all the bags they can get and all the love they can get anytime, any place, as much as they can get it throughout life. So there's definitely a need to tap into that Taurus energy of wanting more for yourself and going after it and being passionate about it and really believing in yourself and really believing in your capabilities and in your talents and in your gifts, that you can have it all and have it balanced. And that you deserve it. Not being afraid to stand up for yourself and put people in their place. Be a boss, let them know what it is and what it's going to be, but also not being afraid to be vulnerable and to express your feelings and to express what you need. And to be in tune with what you need. So many of you may also want to get a rose quartz stone, which resonates with the heart chakra, which resonates with the planet Venus, which resonates with Taurus. Also resonates with Gemini, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it also resonates with Gemini. But yeah, y'all might want to get a rose quartz stone and do some heart and etheric heart chakra work as well. And honey, with all that being said, if I do say so myself, I have milked this cow dry. And I am thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quarters for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.